Presenting Manufacturer Chance Vaught their award this evening is John Palumbo, Senior Vice President of Operations, Sikorsky Aircraft. Also a 2014 Hall of Fame alumni. Thanks for being here, John. Accepting the Chance Vaught Award is Tori Vaught, the granddaughter of Chance Vaught. Consider for a moment the span of time between Gustav Whitehead flying the first heavier-than-air powered aircraft over Long Island Sound to the first Chance Vaught planes flying in off an aircraft carrier. It was just a hair over 2 decades. To put that in perspective, 2 decades ago, the Rolling Stones had already been playing together for 30 years. The pioneers of aviation dream large. Through willpower and innovation, they defied the notion that man was not meant to fly. Innovation, that was the hallmark of one Chance M. Vaught and the company that bore his name. In fact, Sikorsky Vaught's brief partnership ended due to innovation that resulted in tremendous growth for both companies. And of course, we cannot mention Vaught without mentioning the Corsair F4U. I think we can all agree that war is horrible business. But I know this, it's better to win wars than to lose them. And without the Chance Vaught Corsair, General MacArthur might well have not been able to win the Pacific Theater.
It is not by chance that the company founded by Chance M. Vaught would create the most innovative and successful combat aircraft of World War II. Chance earned his engineering degree as a teenager and began designing planes. His first design flew a few days after his 20th birthday. In 1917, Vaught started a company to supply the military with training aircraft. His VE-7 became the first to fly off an aircraft carrier in 1922. In 1926, Vaught began designing combat aircraft in earnest. Moving to East Hartford, Connecticut, Vaught and his engineers began to design fighters under the Corsair model name. Chance died in 1930, but his legacy would live on. As World War II neared, Vaught engineer Rex Beasel's team was tasked with creating a fighter aircraft designed to be launched from a carrier. The aircraft had to match very specific Navy requirements. Beasel responded with what became the F4U. The Corsair's distinction lay in its inverted gull wing design. The principal reason for the design was the need to drive the enormous Hamilton Standard propeller, yet obtain sufficient ground clearance. The propeller was over 13 feet long. Attaching the landing gear to the bend in the wing shortened the gear's configuration and fully retracted the wheels, reducing drag. The other remarkable design was the engine. The Pratt & Whitney R2800 air-cooled engine with 2,000 horsepower was the most powerful engine of its time. 1939 was also significant for the brief linking of two aviation superpowers, Vaught and Sikorsky Aircraft in Stratford, Connecticut. Igor Sikorsky would go on to make the first successful helicopter flight that same year. Growing interest in the helicopter would soon end the two companies' relationship. Though designed pre-war, the Navy made significant changes to the aircraft, delaying the first shipment till late 1942. By the end of 1944, Vaught in Stratford was turning out a Corsair aircraft every 82 minutes. Planned primarily as a carrier aircraft, a few issues needed to be worked out, and Corsairs were initially deployed as island hoppers in the Pacific Theater. Both the Navy and the Marines realized the Corsair's potential as a dive bomber, and it was converted to be both. In combat, the Corsair had unprecedented success with an 11-to-1 air combat kill rate.
They call her the Whistling Death, because when she dives to attack, she sort of whistles. I guess when they hear that, they figure it means trouble.
The aircraft would continue production after the conflict and flew 45% of combat missions during the Korean War. The last Corsair left the Vought factory on Christmas Eve 1952, the last piston-driven fighter in the U.S. In total, 12,571 were built. Though Vought continued to design and build jet aircraft for almost another 40 years, the bent-winged bird would be their testament to American innovation.
It gives me great pleasure to formally induct Chance Vought into the American Manufacturing Hall of Fame.